Alright, so let's see. This is a clock right here. This is a real working clock. This is the version 2 of it. Let's go inside and check it out. Actually, yeah, here we go. Before I go inside, I guess I can show this to you. So this is an on static switch, and then this is a start button. And then we can see that it's working. There we go. And then we'll cruise inside now. Check it out.
How can you open it?
I do. It's right here. There we go. Now we're up in here. So right here's where those power switches come through. We'll go ahead and show you all this little doodo here. So these are what punches in and out. Pretty much fairly similar to how the version 1 clock works. The only difference was I used less pistons because of the addition of slime blocks. So, and then here is obviously the wiring to those faces. Okay, here is the actual internal timer that keeps it ticking. And this leads over and does the semicolon dot. And here we go. So here's the main guts here. So this clock here doesn't work on a ribbon rotary. This clock has a dual set of dropper and hoppers. And how this works, if I can get up here to see it, you'll notice, it'll be opposite to each other in the chain. So there's 2 blocks that run around in here consistently. So this side here is just a dummy side, really. It doesn't do anything except carry the block. I did that so it creates a circle repeatability. So it just is constant, you know. The reason I came with this design of doing it like this, in the version 1 clock with the rotary ribbons, there would be an issue with piston updates, and sometimes a piston would glitch out and would send a whole line of blocks out, and you'd have to tear the whole ribbon out and redo it all, which is pretty painstakingly. So this one doesn't have that. Every now and again, the blocks will actually delete themselves. That hadn't happened for a long time though. But all you have to do is put 2 blocks back in it, and it's up and running. It doesn't mess up anything other than that. So let's go on. So how these work is when these get activated, it sends a signal out to here. So this one don't have one because that's 8. And how this works is it works the opposite way. So it pumps the block out. So like 8 is obviously they're all off. And that's how these work. And then this sends a signal up here, which drives these pistons here. And then this is actually the table, so that sends signal through. So when it's deleted out, it doesn't activate, and that's how it works. And see, it just continues on, just like that. And then now we're back to 8. We should be at 9. Yep. And 0. Pretty tight. And then over here, so this little guy is what triggers this system over here. And the same idea, except it's smaller, obviously, because it only goes to 6. Yeah. So it doesn't have to go all the way to 10. And then we go back to this guy here. So this is the hour hand, which does 12 numbers. So it's a pretty big system. It's actually the biggest one in the chain. But the same style works. It's basically mirrored, but it's the same idea. And then this guy is your 0 and 1 for your hour, and it's super simple. Just has a basically a static button or a T flip-flop uh, that controls it, because it just basically retracts these faces when it has to. So there's always these that are either in the 0 or the 1. So it works out pretty easy. I don't know if I could probably get a simpler design yet. This is probably the simplest and smoothest running clock that I have ever built. I've worked on some other little rotary style devices. Actually, I'll take you back inside and I'll show it to you. So these are some little. Let me turn that guy off real quick, so we're not lagging out the world at any point. Actually, this thing runs pretty smooth even with world lag. Unlike the rotary clock, it doesn't have as much lag at all because there's a far less pistons going on in there. Still a lot of block updating though. So this is a little trial system that started with that idea about speed and how I could get it running. This is all hoppers though. So how this works is it just, let me get above it. You can see it. It's going around. It's creating its own clock cycle. Pretty cool. Not a really bad idea. Just I didn't like it. This is another one that I developed for that similar kind of thing. So this one works in a rotary. Oh, go ahead, Sam. Hit that thing. Yeah, so this one just constantly works out of rotary. And then you can have dual output, depending if you want to go other places with it. Not a bad design, but damn, really noisy as hell. This one's another one over here. This one's an automatic one, so it's just a constant repeater clock. Oh, go ahead and turn it off. And this guy, yeah, hit that, and we got to fire this button right here. And it's a clock. And this one works in a kind of similar way. It passes a block around. Now this works off the similar principle of the rotary ribbon clock, but with only one block. So this system works pretty well, but I don't like it because of the sheer fact that you're relying on these pistons to push that block, and if one of them glitches out, then it just follies the whole system. So I'd rather not go down that road again. But we'll turn this guy back on, and then come back here, and you can watch it update. It's pretty cool.
That seems wrong.
What's wrong with it?
I think you said it goes up to 12.
Yep. It's funny that you said that. So that means that this guy's off. No biggie. See, I'll show you how easy this is to fix. What it probably has happened is this button got activated at some point.
Hey, it's 11 now. What?
Now we're at 1 o'clock. So now, see, and that's how easy it is to advance any of these. If by chance they ever do get off, there's a button right here and over there, and probably on the other side here. This one might not have one. Oh, it does. And that's all you have to do if you ever get off by 1 or what, however many, you just press it that many times, kind of thing. So that one probably got pressed, and now it's off. So now it's 1. So it should be 1 o'clock.
121.
And that would be correct. Yeah, it was off. So we'll wait out this little bit of time here. Make sure it goes to 2.
So it works.
And actually, we could actually bump that up to 2, and it would still be the same.
And then it's gonna be
Huh?
3 when you bump it up to 2, right?
Yeah. So now we're at 2. And it should be changing. Now here's the, so it should go to 3. If it doesn't go to 3, then we know we're off. But it should go to 3. That's probably where it got messed up. Because that clock table right there actually has 2 1s and 2 2s. Because it has to go to, 11 and 12. Uh-oh.
Oh, what the? Something messed up. Exit.
Yep, something wrong. So, what's going on here? It could be that this clock, let's see, so it's, what time was it again, Sam?
What do you mean, like right now?
Alright, so, yeah. What time's the clock say?
11:18.
11. So, that was just at,
The hour.
that was at 2, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it jumped like a 9 more.
Alright, so where's this guy sitting? So he's sitting here. So that's, if I remember right. But I could be wrong, because it's been a while since I did this. So let's see, this one is a trigger. And I think,
Great.
so it's going to trigger again. That's the catch. So this one should be 1. So it should trigger to 1 right here. Yep. So it should be at 0 now. Oop.
Well,
And then this should be at 0.
zero.
Okay. So when this guy, wait, I think it went the wrong way. Yeah, so this, when it gets here, that should trigger that. That should be,
Turn 3.
okay, so we're at 3, at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that right? So it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, maybe that's off, that's why. But that's why. 'Cause if that's, see, this should be 10. Because that should trigger the 1. So that should be 11. That's 12. And then this would go back to 1. So that would be correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. Yeah, that should be 4 o'clock.
So, bump it
Here.
up.
Yeah, let me bump it up here. So it'd be 4,
30?
5,
5.
6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
Alright, now it should change to 10.
10.
Okay.
Did you press it?
I did.
Was it-
I did.
That's 11.
Huh? It's all good. Oh.
Did you?
Yeah. Alright, so shit. now.
Um. Uh-oh.
Oh, I know what happened.
This question mark. 19.
How about now?
It's 19.
Okay, so this guy needs to repeat it. That should be right, because that should be
9. Didn't move.
oh.
Hey, 0.
Okay. That should be 10 o'clock, if I'm not mistaken, though.
It is.
Should be 10, it should be 11. 12. 1. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Should be 10 o'clock.
It's not changed soon. Yeah, that's a 10 number. That shows right there.
Yeah.
It's not changed 10? Now it's supposed to be 11.
Unless it's one off, and then maybe that's the way it works. As long as it works in the right way. So it did change it. So maybe it is after the fact. So if that's 11, then this one should make it 12. Uh-oh.
11.
So that one should be 12. But it didn't. No, that...
What's that sign say?
Let's see, the sign says 1 starting number. So 0. So if this is 1, then that one should be 2.
But change it.
Huh?
But it changes that number at that second one.
Alright, so 1 is the starting number. Let's go to 2. 2. Okay. Now where are we at?
3.
Okay, so this is 1. So that one is correct. And that, which one is that? So this is, should be, oh, that's trippy. That's trippy. I see what's going on. Oh, what the hell? So this is 1, and then that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
But that doesn't
Okay.
say.
Alright, so those are the right. So this is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's like this one's off 1. So where are we at now? We're at 2. Okay, and we're at 2 o'clock. So now let's go to 3 o'clock. We should be at 3 o'clock. If it ever went. It didn't change, did it?
It didn't go through.
It didn't. Let's go check this out. What's going on here? Well, it says it's 2 o'clock. So it's 1, 2. Wait. It was 2 o'clock.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 3.
Well, I just don't think it updated. So 3 o'clock. 4 o'clock.
4, 3.
5 o'clock.
5, 6,
6.
7,
7.
8, 9, 10. That's 10. Right there.
No, that should be 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
This one's wrong, I think.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're at 8. Now we should be at 9 next one. That's correct. Okay, and then we activate. I see how it works, yeah. Now we're at 10 o'clock. Now we should be at 11 o'clock.
What the?
Okay, that was 11. Now we should be at 12 o'clock. And then now the clock should be go back to 1 o'clock. When it
Press it.
nope, when it automatically updates. 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Alright, so it is right. It's all on time. Cool. So it should be 1 o'clock. That's 1 o'clock. How about that?
Through my window.
Huh?
I'm gonna look through my window.
Oh, okay. So that's pretty cool. And really, that's how easy that this thing is to troubleshoot. It wasn't that bad. Mind you, it's been a minute since I've been in here working, so I probably ought to take all these blocks and label them, especially on that one, because that's the most complicated one.
The hours?
Yeah, this one right here, because it has to do this whole jump thing, where, see, this is 1, and that's 2, and this is 1, and that's 2. So it has to repeat these 2.
Yeah, this one is really
So it jumps back and uses these 2 rotary, or not rotary, these drop faces here or whatever. So, yeah, see, like this one, yeah, it starts at 8. It's at 8. This one's 0. 1. What's that? The very first one. And the reason for that design was, so 8 doesn't use 1. 8 is just a dummy. It's a dead one. See? This is number 8. This one right here. Because it's all controlled off this side. So 8 goes to nothing. So 8 by itself is this line. It's pretty cool. Nothing.
So that's 9?
Yep, that's 9. And that would be 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Changed correctly.
Yeah. Pretty
Why is
simple.
he still out?
Huh?
Why does he still out again?
They go all by themselves.
But why?
I guess just a blank, so they're not static. I mean, yeah, we could make them static, but I don't know, cause it's cool. How about that?
It's 214.
It's 214. So
Yeah.
that's one of those cool inventions. Yep. You got anything to say, Ham? Nope. Okay, cool.
And that's over.
Okay.